little bits and little dots. But so far, so good. We initial launch date we are carded for is Thursday. And it's just actually gonna meet that target. So we're ready to go.
Well, as I mentioned, the initial question in regards to, in the context of Tobago's tourism, because I am aware that COVID-19 infected the industry terribly. Have you seen some sort of growth and a boost since Tobago has pushed so strongly for its tourism product, the TJ advocating at various tourism stakeholder meetings across the world, expos across the world? Are you seeing the fruits of such really coming to the shores of Tobago?
Yeah, definitely. After COVID, tourism has quadrupled, but I can say it's like 3 times full. Before COVID, it has really boosted. A lot to do with a lot of government intervention, a lot to do with a lot of private intervention. And I think people just wanted someplace to go after COVID. Trinidad, for instance, has produced maybe about 60% of the tourism that is coming to Tobago right now. So, yeah, it has a very large boost, and it's continuing to grow. I can see the impact of Carnival already.
Well, there's been discussions about that as well. That tell me about the impacts of Carnival, because on one hand we're hearing that the Carnival product in Tobago, it's not as grand as it used to be because of October Carnival. The focus seems to be more on October Carnival. But you're seeing that you're seeing the impact of that. Is that because of that Trinidad market that constantly patronizes Tobago around this time of year?
Yes, to answer that straight up, but to give you a little explanation, typically people come to Trinidad for Carnival. However, most of these people, especially international people, comes to Tobago first. They spend 1 week just relaxing and lying in the sun and enjoying themselves before they move over to Trinidad. And normally they go to Trinidad like maybe the Thursday or the Friday before Carnival, stay the whole Carnival week and come back to Tobago on Ash Wednesday. That is the normal market trend. So you'll find people are here 2 weeks before Carnival, but they're not actually in Trinidad, but they're in Tobago. And as it's time to get over to Trinidad, they go over. Normally Thursday, Friday, Saturday, getting ready for the big week in Trinidad. So this is normal.
What about more into, because I'm glad that you explained it that way. Are we seeing more and more international tourists coming to Tobago?
Actually, there is quite a lot right now. And I know it's only because of the Carnival. But before that, there were not so much. It was pretty quiet. But in the last week, or in the last couple of days, you've seen a mass increase. Lots of, especially Americans, a few Europeans, but mainly Americans.
And usually, I know it's a lot of Europeans because of the winter months in particular, they tend to come to the Caribbean. But in that regard, Frankie, your thoughts and opinions. We've had discussions before about the industry in Tobago, the actual product in Tobago. Given that you've been so open about it within the last few years, are you seeing the improvements that are necessary to ensure Tobago's tourism product remains unique, the market remains strong, and that all is being put into place to market Tobago?
There's never enough done for tourism. There's never enough. We have a long way to go to catch up with all the other Caribbean islands. We have a very long way to go. But saying that, we are making strides. Nothing happened overnight. So it's an ongoing process. But we have a very long way to go. Marketing, exposure. If you look at some of the other islands, for instance, Jamaica. Jamaica market is not just the government or the private sector, it's the people. Everybody in Jamaica, maybe a sportsman, maybe a normal tourist to America or any other country in the world, they market their home, they market Jamaica. So anywhere you go in the world and you talk to a Jamaican, you say, but you have to come to Jamaica. We have a difference here. Very rare we as a Tobagonian or Trinidad and Tobago out there and marketing the product. People has to do their own personal part. It's not just for the business people like me, but it's for the country. The more our people can market Tobago and Trinidad, it is the more we can have people coming into the country. And I'm not just talking tourism here, I'm talking generally. If everybody goes out there and posts an ad on TikTok or Facebook or Instagram, or just basically having a conversation in a restaurant somewhere in Europe or Canada. Said, hey, you need to come to Trinidad and Tobago. We have this and we have that. Then you'll find more people, because the more people market it, the more exposure we have. We can't just depend on the government or depend on the private investor to do that. It has to be done communally. The whole country has to be marketing Trinidad and Tobago.
Why do you suppose that's the case, Frankie, that there's not enough effort from the citizens, the residents, to market the islands? Well, why do you think there's that sort of restraint?
Well, I don't think it's restraint. I just think it's education. I think when we're out there, we don't really expatiate ourselves enough. And I'm not saying that they don't market it. They do say we are from Trinidad and Tobago, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. They need to put it forward. They need to sell it. In some cases, you need to sell it to the general public. Hey, you know, I am from Trinidad and Tobago. We have the best fish lake. We have some of the best beaches. We have, you know, great scenery. We have great waterfalls. You need to market it. And from an individual point of view, it don't come across to them as doing something for the country, because they might just be casually on vacation and enjoying themselves and not thinking of the wider concept. People like me would think of it because we are in it for as a business. But generally, it has to do with education. If we can educate the public about what they say and what they do whenever they go there, then it has a very nice rippling effect. And this is not just tourism. This is just general. Every single sector of the community will benefit from we advertising ourselves.
Mm-hmm. What do you suppose, in your opinion, you know, I know that you've mentioned the aspect of people actually marketing their own nation, their own country. There's a lot of dependence on the private sector and those who hold government positions, government roles. But what do you suppose are the key factors or the key pieces that are missing to really make, well, the eyes open up more so to what Tobago has to offer? You mentioned it's not just a tourist product. There's a lot more to it.
Well, as I said, I think it's based on education. I mean, if we could synthesize the country and every single person, while they're out there or they're anywhere, they use the opportunity to market Trinidad and Tobago, then it has a rippling effect. You can start in the schools. You can start with just anybody going out there for just a general holiday. Maybe they're going on a cruise ship. You know, it's a good opportunity for you as an individual to just reach. We are friendly people, so we know how to reach out to people. Trinidad and Tobago know how to party. We know the line. You're in a party in a line somewhere. Hey, listen, you guys think this is a party? Come to our country. We'll show you how to party. We know how to party, you understand? And you're giving them the vibes from there. So, you know, although you might not look at it as a lot, people listen to this information and they put one and one together. So you might tell them something about Trinidad Carnival or about Tobago beaches. Another person tell them again, and this reinforces. The more people tell them about the same product, is the more they get intrigued to do this product. So it has to do with, on a whole, on the education basis of the public. They have to sell a product. Every sport person has to sell a product. Every individual has to sell a product. And it will take the burden off of the state to actually do what they are doing. And the state is doing a great job. They still have to do a whole lot more, though.
Let's contrast this for a moment, because last November it's the Wanderlust Readers Travel Awards, Tobago was stated to be the third most desirable island in the world to visit in terms of the product. But given what you're saying, even in regards to the education and the efforts, do you think the people of Tobago feel that way? Do you think the people of Tobago feel as though their island is the third most desirable in the world to visit?
Well, I don't think so at all. And actually, I have not seen that piece of information you gave me. I read a lot, but I've never seen that. But anyhow, I don't think so. We are proud of our country. We are very proud of our country, so definitely not.
But Frankie, why is that the case? If outsiders can see it, why not the insiders? Is there a lot happening within Tobago itself that the frustrations are just really blinding that sort of, I suppose, magic that goes with the island of Tobago?
Well, to be honest, I don't even know the answer to that question, because I actually, well, maybe I'm blinded as well, because obviously I don't know to answer that question. You understand? I think we are doing a great job in terms of making our country proud and happy, and people are enjoying themselves. I don't see it from the point of view that we are so undesirable. Actually, it never even clicked my mind. So maybe I'm blind to the fact as well, because I think we have a great country, and I think this is a very desirable country. I will actually look up that information, and maybe I'll comment on it. But I never even thought of it. So you brought it to the forefront now. It worth investigating.
No, I think you misunderstood what I was saying, Frankie. In regards to the award itself, it was deemed the third most desirable island in the world, Wanderlust Readers Magazine. Yeah, and the question at hand was whether or not the people of Tobago feel as though the island really is such a desirable island. The product is, yes, that is what I meant. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I took it the other way.
Yeah. No, that's what I meant.
Yes, we are a very desirable country, and I think we are proud of knowing that we are a very desirable country. We are happy that we are third most desirable country. We want to be number one. We don't want to be number three. So yeah, we are going to be heading to that direction, and we are looking to that direction. We're going to put all focus on being the most desirable country in the world to visit. We don't want to be number three, we want to be number one.
So I'm going to shift a bit across now to another aspect of this conversation, of which we've touched on before. So let's get an update in regards to the work ethic. It's constantly been raised about the work ethic on the island of Tobago. And are we, again, conversations about efforts from the private sector, efforts on the part of the THA? I believe there were consultations most recently last year, August, at Mount Irving Beach Resort, for example, where that was also raised as a major issue. Again, efforts and strides to try and improve the work ethic in Tobago. Are you seeing that happening? As you said, it's not going to change overnight, but are you at least seeing efforts to improve the work ethic?
Well, there's some effort being made, but again, we have a long way to go, especially in the tourism industry. You know, the more we can produce and the more we can improve on our customer services, the better for everybody. And again, customer service is not just for tourism, it's for everybody. I don't want to walk into a bank or a supermarket and somebody is rude to me to collect my own money. This is just not right. We have to grow up and understand that customer service is the basis of everything. I have traveled the world over, and I mean, for instance, everywhere you go in the world, people are polite when you're doing any type of business. We have to adopt that here in Trinidad and Tobago. It's important, as I said, for every single sector that we are polite, nice, friendly, and outspoken.
You see, I realize that a theme that is so synonymous with the conversations with stakeholders in Tobago is we still have a lot more to do. We still have a long way to go. And every time I have this conversation year after year, that always pops up. It just seems as though there's a lethargy, Frankie. It seems as though that there is some level of hesitation. Is that true?
I wouldn't say it as hesitation. I say that is a very slow learning process. I'm not sure what we should do in terms of.
No, well, okay, let me interrupt you there. A slow learning process. Okay, I understand that. You've been in this industry for 40 plus years. There are stakeholders on the island of Tobago that have been in this industry for decades. Are you all actually properly consulted with? Are you all actually met with? Do you all have the ears of those who have the power to make certain decisions? Or do you feel frustrated at times where the only voice that you have is probably on programs such as this?
We do feel frustrated. I do feel frustrated because I think the process is too slow. But again, my life is speed. I'm always on the move. So maybe it's just me, but I definitely think we have to push harder. This has to be something that is growing 100 times faster than it is. Why is it so difficult to get the basic customer service out there? We are friendly people. We are nice people. Why can't we project that nice and friendliness across the board? It's important for us as a country to protect this, and we are going too slow. We need to do better.
Well,
and as I said, everything on squarely on state. This is we brought up good. We brought up properly. We should just show the public this is how we brought up and this is how we live properly.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Frankie. There's something, especially as a Trinbagonian myself, something about the island of Tobago that I can spend 1 week in Tobago and I will, I feel like I need more. There's always something that just pulls you back. But before we bid farewell, given that this is a major investment on your part, this new particular boat, are we going to continue to see such investments on your part, as well as do you foresee investments on the part of other stakeholders in Tobago in regards to the tourism product?
Yes, definitely yes. Competition grows competition and it's good for everybody. So if I made upgrade, I'm expecting other people to make an upgrade as well. Because you don't want one person to control the whole market. It has to be spread across the whole country. And I might be the first one to make such a big upgrade, but I am sure, I'm like 90% sure that there will be lots of people following suit very soon. And it's good because competition is healthy. It only makes things better. So I am looking at not just the tourism sector, but all sector to improve on their product. I want them to improve on their product. This is not something that may happen. It has to happen. In order for Trinidad and Tobago to have a better tourism product overall, people has to improve. And I'm not just talking about boats. I am talking about general here. People who look like, for instance, I see there's these new boating things, sticky craft. It's beautiful. Competition is healthy. It gives the general public more to offer on Tobago. I don't want to just see ticket craft and glass bottom boats and horse riding and hotels doing better. I want to see every sector grow. We could take a picture out of Thailand. We could take a picture out of any of those booming tourism economy all over the world and do something. Bring in submarines, bring in anything that can boost our tourism product. Zip lines, tram train, whatever it takes, we have to go the direction.
Certainly.
So we have a long way to go, but I said we're getting there. We have to get there.
Well, Frankie, I want to thank you for your time this morning because you've looked at it from all aspects. And as a man on the ground, those are the individuals that actually see what's happening and experience the reality of the situation. So thank you very much for the time this morning to share your thoughts, opinions, and experiences with us. And congratulations, really, on your part. I look forward to patronizing your new boat, One Millennium, very soon.
Don't worry, when I come over here, I'll come for free. But thank you for being here. Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago and the world. Bye.
Thank you. Take care. Michael Frankie, as he is well known, an individual who has been in this industry for 40 plus years. Quite an investment on his part, a new glass bottom boat, so with quite an astounding capacity. Unofficially it is 180 individuals, but really on his part it's quite incredible and really speaks to the product in Tobago. As he says, new products, competition breeds competition. It's healthy, it's good for Tobago. He wants to see more of this happening. And, well, efforts could be made, as he also mentioned. There's so many areas that they could improve on. It never really stops. But it was a positive conversation all around, and we're glad for that. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a break here on AM Prime. If you're heading to Tobago this weekend, lucky you. I wish I was there. Nevertheless, we'll be right back after this.
Like many others trying to save on Carnival, Gabby thought she should go for 50% off makeup.
What about the other side? Well, Daisy 50% off offer. So you know.
No makeup artist we don't know. What we do know is the savviest savings for Carnival are at KFC. Get a Jab Jab box, 1-piece chicken, 1 regular fries, and a biscuit for only $25.
My name is Carl Media. I am the founder and the host of Ever Increasing Voice Ministries. Join me every Saturday and Sunday on WESN, this powerful station, at 9 a.m. on Saturdays, 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. nightly. Also on Sundays, I'll be on at 7 a.m., 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. at night time. When you come here, we are getting people heavenly ready.
Join me, Dr. Nalini Kokram, on What's Up Doc, where we discuss all your burning questions concerning health.
Trinidad and Tobago is among one of the highest risk group of patients that develop this form of genetic breast cancer.
What I'd like to take home from a short interview like this, screening. You must screen.
Because it's silent.
It's silent.
Yeah.
And because it's silent, you don't know it's there.
What's Up Doc, every Tuesday and Thursday on WESN, Content Capital.
Take some time for yourself or spend some time with the family at Sandy Point Village Hotel. Enjoy our various studio and suite apartments, self-contained with their own kitchenettes and Wi-Fi. We also have our famous 100-foot swimming pool and our beachfront restaurant, the Steak and Lobster Grill. And our location in Crown Point puts us near the center of activity from the nylon pool to the local nightlife. Call us and make your reservations at 639-8533, 389-2378 or email us at sandypointvillagehotel@gmail.com.
FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
Is it politics? What is it? Is it that nobody cares about sports?
The kind of support that sport used to get in the past is no longer here.
The thing is, taking a knee doesn't mean that that's the only thing you're doing on it.
Right.
Taking a knee along with other stuff.
Samantha, what are you looking forward to when you return home to Trinidad and Tobago after winning the title?
Thank you very much for speaking it into existence.
Is it no pressure on Nicholas Ball?
It makes me more motivated to work hard and to go out there and rep the white and black.
Why are we sending a team to the Winter Olympics?
There are a number of Trinbagonians who are in the diaspora and have grown up in winter sport. It's an opportunity that the Trinidad and Tobago Olympic Committee will not close the door on.
I also believe in the players that we have. Once you can motivate the players, you can get the best out of them.
The newest book is here, Closer to the Church, the debut novel by author and former Mayor Louis Lee Singh. Available at all the home store branches, Barataria, West Mall, Shogunas and C3 San Fernando. Paper-based bookshop 10 Nook Avenue, St. Anne's, WESN 30A Gattaca Street, Woodbrook, Metropolitan Bookshop, Ariapita Avenue, Woodbrook, and all RIK bookstores nationwide. Available online as paperback on Amazon.com and Kindle for e-readers. For more info, call 628-5835 or 389-6504. Also available from author Louis Lee Singh, I Used to Live in Heaven, Letters to My Granddaughters, and Local Government in Trinidad, Conspiracy Against the People.
Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be joined a bit later on by my second guest, but in the meantime, we have some regional updates to share with you, starting with St. Lucia. Now, this is of a previous report where we stated that St. Lucia has initiated a collaborative effort involving government, community and business leaders aimed at reducing crime through comprehensive social and economic reform. That was reported about 2 weeks ago. The integrated effort seeks to address the root cause that can lead people into criminal activity. So this is an update from St. Lucia.
In a bid to curb rising crime and violence, St. Lucia has officially launched the Alliance for Crime Reduction and Transformation, ACT. The initiative aims to tackle the issue not just through law enforcement, but also by addressing social and economic factors that contribute to crime. The launch ceremony brought together government officials, community leaders, business representatives, and formerly incarcerated individuals, reflecting ACT's commitment to collaboration. Inspector Kimroy Renee of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force underscored the need for a holistic approach to crime reduction. He called for collaboration beyond the police, including tackling food insecurity and improving healthcare as factors that can push individuals towards crime.
Every year, for the past 10 years, we've been between 50 and 75 homicides. And I could tell you, almost 75% of those young men, I have sat down and have a conversation with them. I've understood who they are, where they came from. You know, how many of them could tell you about his cousin Conqueror? And how many of them could tell you about Bombay? And how many of them could tell you about, you know, the Jacob Owen Jules? What's the story? How many of us know that? You know where they came from? I have, because I have met with them. And every time you hear homicide and you hear the name, you say, but I just spoke to this guy. And as a police officer, it's not about trying to jail and punish, you know, somebody. It's about us understanding, seeing how we could work with everybody.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre has highlighted the importance of social programs, citing his administration's efforts such as wiping criminal records for minor marijuana possession to help ex-offenders reintegrate into society. Close aide Michael Williams conveyed the policy message of reform to the audience on the government leader's behalf.
I want to commend the SSDF for this initiative, a proactive approach to problem solving, and to pledge the full support of the government towards its functioning to ensure the desired outcomes. It provides a unique opportunity for all people of goodwill who are willing to contribute to join hands towards combating the scourge of crime in our society. This is why an initiative such as this is so welcoming and relevant.
While the launch of ACT marks a significant step, challenges remain. The initiative will need sustained funding, effective coordination among diverse stakeholders, and long-term commitment to address deeply rooted social and economic issues. Business leader Deborah Tobias spoke of the importance of the private sector's social responsibility to the people they employ, which can start with fair wages.
But if I have to be honest, and I'm now instituting a threshold of a minimum, no matter, irrespective of posts. So you have janitorial, entry-level positions straight from school, 1,250. It may not sound like much, but what it means is that you are undertaking a full and comprehensive review that actually translated in our respect to an increase in our salary expense of about 15% monthly. So you must know that when you do that, those who were there and had a particular range, they have been increased because they have been there for 5 years, 10 years, okay? So I would say that as a business sector, we have to be fair in our practices. I know that, you know, unfortunately, some people have the view that people can still survive on $800 a month, $1,000 a month. And people know what it is to go out there to shop. So as we bolster and we improve our business standards, our internal policies, our controls, we want to know that we are recognizing the contribution of the very staff that promote our success.
The government has pledged its full support to the Act, with Prime Minister Pierre recently commending the initiative's proactive approach. He called on all stakeholders to join hands and contribute to making St. Lucia a safer and more prosperous nation.
All right, we're moving across to Grenada. A statement issued by the Chief Medical Officer on the rise of COVID-19 cases has left some Grenadians anxious. This report.
No need for panic, so says Kevin Frederick, Senior Health Promotions and Communications Officer in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs. With word out that the country is experiencing a rise in COVID-19 cases, there is worry that Grenada's Golden Jubilee celebrations may experience some interruptions. In a statement issued by the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sean Charles, last week, there were 7 confirmed cases recorded from the 27th November 2023 to 31st December 2023. Dr. Charles further revealed that from the 1st to the 8th January 2024, 17 cases were recorded. Our news desk was in conversation with Frederick, who indicated that it is normal for persons to feel anxious based on past experiences with COVID-19.
It is okay for persons to really attend the independence activities. We do, I would say, have the situation largely under control. There isn't widespread, transmission. So, as I said, at the top of it, it is okay and it is normal for people to, be wary, and be nervous. But remember, your health and your wealth starts and ends with you. So if you follow the advice, if you follow the steps, the practices, at least you are protecting yourself. And when you protect yourself, you also protect your loved ones and others in your immediate circle. So at this time, there is still no need for panic.
The communications officer encouraged citizens to heed the advice provided and trust their healthcare practitioners.
As a ministry, and all that came with it for over 3 years, I am confident that our Ministry of Health and our respected team of experienced professionals are more than qualified and capable of dealing with this situation. Because this is doable. All that is required is for you, that is the members of the public out there, to play their part. I am talking about is simple. Follow the advice of the Ministry of Health. Know the symptoms of COVID-19. Wear your mask. Maintain physical distance. Wash your hands as often as possible with soap and clean running water. If you don't have soap and clean running water, we encourage you to use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer with anything above 65 or so percent of alcohol in it. If you feel sick and are a bit concerned, notify your healthcare provider and arrange to be tested. We also want individuals to eat properly, rest well, drink plenty of water.
The ministry could not confirm if the latest COVID-19 variant of interest, JN.1, is among any recorded cases, because the last time the reference lab at the Caribbean Public Health Agency, CARPHA, confirmed the type of COVID-19 variants in circulation was in September 2023. At that time, Omicron HH.2 and Omicron XBB.1.16 were the variants.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick break here on AM Primer. When we return, we have some updates regarding LIAT. LIAT 1974 Limited took its last flight approximately 2 weeks ago. We have a report on that. But there's also an update on LIAT 2020 Limited. So we'll be right back after this.
Knowing how to tell authentic is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Find it, match it, search it. Step 1. Find the style number on the tag. Step 2. Match the style number inside the jersey with the number on the tag. Step 3. Search it. A quick Google search of the style number will verify the jersey is authentic when the search results match the jersey being searched. Don't be fooled by counterfeit jerseys. Before you buy, remember to find it, match it, search it.
Fan Zone, 2 locations nationwide. Center City Mall, Chaguanas and Movietown, Port of Spain. Nationwide delivery available.
Every word, every line, every paragraph depicts a real moment in someone's life. A father, a sister, a mother, a brother. We at Newsday are dedicated to you, the people, and through independent, unwavering journalism, strive to always bring your stories to life. Because your stories are more than just words. Newsday, independent and credible.
Welcome back. So as mentioned before we took the last break, Liat 1974 Limited took its last flight approximately 2 weeks ago. So let's just take a look at a report that reflects on that last voyage.
Before Liat's final journey into Antigua, passengers disembarked the aircraft in St. Martin and Tortola for one last time under the brand Liat 1974 Limited.
Nice doing the last flight with Liat. They make it 16 years since I riding with Liat, so good luck Liat. I hope they come through again.
At the Terence B. Letsom International Airport in Tortola, the water salute as the regional carrier departs for the last time. On arrival into the V.C. Byrne International Airport, those who have kept Liat in the skies during the difficult periods greeted the airline. So too were Acting Prime Minister and Attorney General Sir Roy Benjamin and Tourism Minister the Honourable Charles Fernandez. Both government ministers reacted to the last Liat 1974 Limited flight.
We are determined to ensure that this airline continues to fly, bigger crews, bigger aircraft, a bigger staff with professionalism. I must say one thing too. Liat has flown these skies for many, many years. We have the safest safety record in the airline industry. We shall build upon it, and with these persons, the committed persons working for Liat, we will remain.
An emotional moment for all of us. Liat is a household name throughout the region, and again, hats off to the Prime Minister and the Cabinet when we decided that Liat had to continue. And it's been not an easy task going it alone for the last almost 4 years this year. But the commitment was there, the vision was there, and we are planning now to move to Liat 2020.
More reactions came from long-time Liat employees.
Fully agree with that. A change has to be made. Change on both sides, you know, with internally and externally. When I say internally, I mean within the new organization and the supporting factors externally. But I do believe that there is a place for Liat. You know, there's a place for Liat in the future. This is not the end. I think that we will see something bigger and better from Liat 2020.
We hope and pray, not just for myself, but for the younger generation coming up, that we can leave something for them to enjoy like how I did. This flight, although it was sad, it was better. It was a good feeling to know that we have served the Caribbean islands for so long. And not to jump down anybody's throat, but whenever we had disasters, Liat was the first. Liat is always there. Liat was always there. But it's sad that it has to go this way. I hope a new entity coming up can fill the shoe that we're going to leave. It's a big one to fill, but I believe that we can do it.
2024, all employees will be made redundant. Though the future for some employees may be uncertain, the government has given the assurance that Liat 2020 Limited, a new entity, will be back in the sky again.
All right, so following that report, let's get an update in regards to Liat 2020 Limited. Let's take a look at this report.
With the dust settling on Liat 1974 Limited, a new airline, Liat 2020, is on the horizon. After months of planning, negotiation, and millions of dollars of investment, an arrangement between the government of Antigua Barbuda and Air Peace Caribbean Limited will soon bear fruit. Principals expect operationalization within 3 months.
We are well on our way, and we're just hoping that the gap between the closure of operations of 1974 Limited and the starting of operations of Liat 2020 will not be too long. Because we understand the anxiety out there in the traveling public. We understand the tremendous importance of Liat to the Caribbean.
With the response of CDB in expediting the acquisition of the ATRs, I'm very confident that we will be commencing operation within the time frame that has already been determined.
Before LIAT 2020 can acquire an air operator certificate from the Eastern Caribbean Civil Aviation Authority, the company must at least have one aircraft already licensed within the region. We get an update on negotiations for a fleet of aircraft to fly the LIAT 2020 banner.
To come on stream from AP's Caribbean Limited, our joint venture partner. And 3 will be almost immediate over a period of 3 months. We will have those on stream.
Officials are still awaiting final sign-off from the Caribbean Development Bank for the purchase. The plans are also moving swiftly ahead for recruitment.
Job advertisements will be made available this week. We're working with the media houses to ensure that those ads go out this week so people can start to apply. But having said that, and just touching back on the 74 employees, what we're seeking to do is to publish those adverts internally within the LIAT 74 internal vacancy portal. So it gives employees that first chance or first choice of refusal, if you like.
Salam adds the branding and imagery aspects are also progressing smoothly. He says the new logo will be deeply connected to the region.
Sometimes I reminisce of the old days when you had Tobago Express, Caribbean Star, LIAT, all on the tarmac in Piarco. And now we have Caribbean Airlines, really that's the main airline servicing the Caribbean as well as the ATR fleet. But, ladies and gentlemen, LIAT 2020 Limited is hoping to take to the skies very soon. And, well, let's hope it works out well this time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a break here on AM Prime on routine. Saharan dust, it's affecting everyone here in Trinidad and Tobago, and there's a huge blanket that's on its way later this week. But as we think about ourselves and we try to take certain measures to protect ourselves, what about the furry friends we refer to as family that live with us? I'm talking about our pets. Does Saharan dust affect your pets? If so, what can we do to help them? We'll be right back with that particular conversation after this.
Here is the WESN News on the Hour. I am Sira Ali. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. Commissioner of Police Erla Harewood Christopher has until Tuesday 6 to review his position on FULs. FBI and CIA pledge to assist TNT with crime crisis. The CTPS on the hunt for suspect involved in Valencia murders. And internationally, King Charles III has been diagnosed with cancer. Now for the details. Police Commissioner Erla Harewood Christopher has been given until Tuesday 6th to reverse her position on the renewal of firearms users license. The ultimatum was given by attorneys representing gun owners and dealer Tawfiq Ali, Anand Biharilal, KC, KL Taklal Singh, and Nairi Alfonso wrote to the commissioner last month informing her that the requirement that all FUL holders renew their permits is not in keeping with the law. At the start of the year, the Commissioner of Police announced that all FUL holders, including those who were issued with FULs before 2004 when the Firearms Act was amended, have to renew their permits. There are elements of international organized crime focusing their attention on Trinidad and Tobago. This from Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley at a news conference in Whitehall, Port of Spain, on Friday morning after he returned to the country following his 3-day working visit to the United States. The Prime Minister held meetings with several key United States agencies, including the Central Intelligence Agency and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, who have pledged assistance to ensure that this bad situation of crime in TNT is not worsened. 3 people were shot and seriously injured, including a brother and sister at their Valencia home on Sunday morning. The 3 victims have been identified as Shirley Ann Lampkin, her brother Sherwin Lampkin, and Dylan Lafon. They were at their San Pedro Extension, Valencia home when a former relative came to their house and opened fire on them. Police say around 9:30 on Sunday morning, a former relative came to the house and opened fire on the 3, including Shirley Ann Lampkin, who was shot in her knee. Her brother Sherwin was shot in his chest, while Lafon was shot in his abdomen. Both Sherwin Lampkin and Dylan Lafon underwent emergency surgery at the Sangre Grande Hospital, where they are receiving the treatment. In international news, King Charles has been diagnosed with a form of cancer, says Buckingham Palace. It is not prostate cancer, but was discovered during his recent treatment for an enlarged prostate. The type of cancer has not yet been revealed, but according to the palace statement, the king began regular treatments on Monday. Buckingham Palace says the king remains fully positive about his treatment and looks forward to returning to full public duty as soon as possible. He will postpone his public engagements, and it is expected other senior royals will help him to stand in for him during his treatment. Well, that's it. News on the hour on WESN. I am Sarah Ali. Thank you for watching.
Yo, it's Rome! And this year we want to have a safe carnival just like every other carnival. So this year we're talking a smart carnival. We're talking safety measures against real threats. We're going to vet smart, we're going to play smart, and move smart because it's all about rum, gal, and money. Not that no call way, no time for folly. We jamming all day. Jamming on the roadway. If you see me in a Benz or a Beamer, hustle hard for me.
People really want to know, what about me? Where do I fit? Yes. What is in the ride for me in terms of a better Trinidad and Tobago? And I'm pleased to shed some light on that.
The purpose of bail is to ensure your attendance at court. That's it. It is not punitive. It is not rehabilitative.
We, the police officers, we are professional, and we are here for whenever the survivor is ready to come forward.
We have the right to private and family life, the right to religious freedoms and beliefs and thoughts and expression. But these rights are not absolute. Certain rights can be limited.
The law is to govern the whole. It's for all of us in public.
Welcome back to the program, ladies and gentlemen. As I mentioned, you're probably aware that there is quite a large blanket of Saharandas heading our way later this week. Over the last few weeks, we've been really, well, it's been snowing Saharan dust, if that even makes sense. But I took a look at my vehicle yesterday and was quite astounded to see that it's mud. It's basically mud on my vehicle. Incredibly, though, as we speak about Saharan dust and the effects on human beings, what about the effects on your pets? Well, this morning, Dr. Sherelle Sami, who joined us last year to give us safety tips and advice, your pets in the home during the Christmas period, she's with us now this morning to give us some more advice. Hello, Dr. Sami. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you so much for joining me this morning. First of all, to get it out of the way, does Saharan dust actually affect our pets?
Absolutely, it does.
Right, good. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, how?
So similar to humans, it can cause them to have inflammation of the eyes, conjunctivitis. We can get sneezing, we can get coughing, we can get scratching, which can lead to alopecia, which is hair loss. Some animals that have asthma, it will be exacerbated or brought on by the Sahara dust. So these are things I want everyone to look out for with respect to their pets. If you see them sneezing, coughing, eyes are red and watering, that's something to also look for. And itching. They're covered for ticks and fleas already, they're covered for deworming, and you're still getting them itching, and you already ruled out food allergies, then you have to consider Sahara dust.
So those are some of the signs. Just as in human beings, that there may be those who are more prone to the effects of Sahara dust, those with respiratory illnesses, for example. Is that the same thing for animals and pets as well?
Yes. So, like I mentioned before, the cats tend to have feline asthma. Those with Sahara dust, those that are around Sahara dust, it can exacerbate their symptoms and their signs, and you find that they will need their nebulizer a little bit more. Similar with dogs, if they have any respiratory issues from before, you may find them having it brought on again by the Sahara dust. So if you have any pre-existing, especially respiratory diseases that you've managed for a while and then you have a flare-up, the Sahara dust can be the cause of that.
Could it cause long-term ailments, pet allergies, for example? And when I say pet allergies, I don't mean human beings allergic to pets, but pets actually having allergies. Could it cause long-term symptoms?
So the Sahara dust will be considered an environmental allergen. There are a couple that I won't go into because it kind of branches me out into different segments, but we're going to just focus on the environmental allergen. Once it's present, it's going to cause our symptoms. Once it goes away, we're no longer going to affect our pets. It's no longer going to affect our pets. So when you have an environmental allergen, let's say we don't have the Sahara dust and we've known for other things to cause allergies such as dust, pollen, certain type of plants that have those sorts of flowers that kind of go away with the dust, blow away with the dust. So if that gets around your pets, it can cause them to have allergies. So once you're around the specific allergen, it's going to cause an allergic reaction. Once it's removed, you're good to go. So it won't cause the long-term effects after it's gone, only when it's there.
So before this blanket arrives at the end of the week, what are some of the preventative measures that owners can put into place to protect their pets?
I know our culture is not 100% there yet, but your pet should be kept inside. Your windows and doors should be closed. You should invest in an air purifier if you know your pet to be sensitive to the dust. You should also have water bowls and food bowls inside, because like you mentioned, when you went outside, your car was covered in dust.
They look like mud.
So the same thing can happen to if your food bowls are outside. The dust is going to land on it, and they can inhale it, and therefore the allergen kicks up the allergic reaction. So all those preventative things can be done before the blanket comes. Keep them inside. Have windows and doors closed, because remember, Sahara dust is an airborne thing that's in our space, and it can come through your windows, your doors. I know for me, if I don't have any animals that are significantly affected by the Sahara dust, but I would take off my clothes before I interact with them, because they will be on my clothes as well. So just to recap, we want to have them inside, even if it's a laundry area or porch area that you can have closed off away from the Sahara dust coming in. Keep your food and water bowls inside. If you can invest in an air purifier, you can remove that dust and allergen from the environment for them. And right before you bring them inside, give them a nice bath, because the dust stays on them, and that's where the itching and the all the symptoms come from, is because it's on their skin. So it's going to cause them to itch and feel uncomfortable. So right before you bring them inside, make sure you start with a fresh bath, dry them off, bring them inside.
A bit of a side question. In the times that we are in, where the Sahara is just, the stages are getting worse and worse, how often should you actually bathe your pets? I know that's debatable because you don't want to dry your pet skin.
Yes. Well, that's actually a good question, because when it's... I actually had a client call me recently with respect to the Sahara dust and her pet is itching more. And she bathed the pet. It seemed to ease the symptoms. With a medicated shampoo is the best type of shampoo to use. Please speak to your vet with respect to what type to use. They know the relationship with your animal. They can guide you best. But so if you're keeping them inside and you're doing all the measures, once a week should be okay. But if you're seeing it more prevalent, as in the itching is becoming severe, you've seen it calm down after the bath. Day 1, day 2 is good, but day 3 we start back up. We bathe every 3 days, ideally. But once again, you have to choose the right shampoo because, like you said, you'll dry out their coats, and then that could cause itching.
Yes.
And that will be a whole different reason as to why they're itching.
And I know that you mentioned that, yes, you're right. Culturally, we're not with keeping our pets inside as yes. A lot of people that now have very high maintenance dogs, for example, and keep them outside, and they do suffer, of course. We just don't know it.
Yeah.
But in that sense as well, ventilation is important, of course, which is a bit tricky because you're advising to keep, windows closed. Have to keep a fan on, even if you leave those.
Fan or ACs. Now, be sure that your fan, as well as your AC, has been cleaned, because if you notice the dust kind of builds up on the fan, builds up in your AC, you have to clean that out as well. Sorry. Before bringing them in, because once again, that will serve as an allergen as well, different type of dust. But yes, when you keep your windows closed, and we're in a hot country, we don't have any winter or any other season, so it's going to be very hot. Definitely a fan, AC that has been cleaned and ready to go. Good, it's a great, fantastic idea.
Right. So now, when the dust actually gets here, and I know you mentioned as well, food and water inside. But is there any specific recommendations in regards to cleaning their food or water bowls during this particular period, or is it as per normal?
It should be done more frequently. So ideally, in an ideal world, clean it every day. So at the end of every feeding for the food bowl, wash it, soap, water. The water bowl you can change at the end of the day, or if your pet has already drunk out water for the morning, just give it a clean, fill it back, put it back. So because there's going to be a blanket and it's going to be heavy on the dust, you're going to want to do that more frequently. You don't want to wait till you see the dust settle. You have to be proactive and do it before. So for me, I have cats, which are inside. My windows are closed because I don't want them to go outside, so my AC is on and it's cleaned. I particularly wouldn't have to do it as often because I've already taken the measures to keep dust outside. But if you are now doing this and having them inside without all those precautions, you're going to have to do it more regularly.
Oh, yes. Have you been noticing the more and more pets coming into the clinic with
Yes, I've had people say my dog's eyes are red and he's tearing a lot, and I did warn them that the Sahara dust can affect them, especially if they're outside and outdoors. Oh, the other thing is there's some clients or people who have their pets inside and they go outside to do their numbers and they come back. So that's going to be a tricky thing to maneuver, because then you want them inside, but then they only go on the grass. They only go on a certain part of the yard. And I tell people, you can wipe them down with unscented baby wipe, and you can wipe their paws, let them, when they come back inside. So go let them do their numbers, wipe them down, wipe their paws, let them come inside. So I've had an increase in calls or visits where we have conjunctivitis being the main issue. that's inflammation of the eye. The other issue I've had is the itching. So,
I don't think people understand that having a pet is not as simple as they make it out to be. You know, they take a lot of care, just as we do, as we would look after ourselves. You know, we have to look after our pets. What about treatment options, for example, conjunctivitis or even respiratory illnesses? I know you said that cats sometimes,
feline asthma.
Feline asthma, yes. But what are some of the treatment options available for the more common symptoms?
So it depends on the severity. So sometimes shampooing with a medicated bath can be just enough for the itching. If you see any rashes or redness or pustules, we then go a step further. We do diagnostic, maybe a skin swab, see what type of bacteria, because the bacteria or secondary bacterial infection can occur through the itching. So some of the things we treat for is based on us seeing the pet, based on us seeing what symptoms are in front of us, and then going from there. Sometimes you could need just a basic antihistamine, or sometimes you may need something stronger, steroids. Steroids is not something we go to as our first line. We want to be careful with using steroids and even antibiotics to prevent antibiotic resistance.
Yes.
So we take a very cautious approach as to what. So when we examine the animal, we see what symptoms they have. We go mild first based on the severity. So if it is you are already on the severe side of things, we may go with the antibiotics and steroids. If we're not, we go with shampooing and antihistamines, and we'll be very, very careful as to what we give your pet and what we prescribe.
Oh, no, it's a double whammy because we're in the midst of a scorcher as well, the dry season. Of course, keeping your pets hydrated is very important.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I've heard people do, and I'm hoping that you can speak to this, is in the dry season, they tend to also give their dogs and cats coconut water. Is that okay?
It's okay, just not in large amounts. What I actually recommend is ice cubes in the water bowl. So it helps give them a nice, cool, cold beverage and can keep them hydrated. Another thing that you can do is water fountains. So it continuously goes and it stays cool in its function. So coconut water is more for rehydration. Yes, I do understand it and I do get it, but I tend to recommend something that's a bit more cost-effective as well.
Wonderful. I'm just going to squeeze in a couple of other things because one of my directors is asking, and it's true. Before you came, when you came last year, we spoke about fireworks and the effects on animals. We're heading into a different time with Carnival and the music trucks and the vibrations and whatnot. And that will affect pets as well.
Yeah, the noise is much louder for them, that's why. Everything is...
Really, it's amplified, yes.
Yeah,
because
what we
the hearing
hear,
is a lot more sensitive.
It's a lot more sensitive, so they get scared. So this is another season and a reason to keep them inside, keep them calm. I'd like to recommend calm music in the background. So just something on YouTube, something nice, calm, dog-friendly or cat-friendly, to have them playing and just you be there. Now, of course, we're carnival babies. Our culture is carnival. But just make sure that your pet is safe and secure while you have fun. That's not a problem.
Again, a bit of a double whammy. Yes, culturally, we're carnival babies.
Well, that's nothing wrong with that.
No, it's nothing wrong with that. But then culturally, we're not one to keep pets inside. So,
true.
So it's...
That's very true. And I mean, when I first started having my pets inside and I shared them on WhatsApp and my status was like, you have your cats on your bed? I was like, yeah, I do. They're clean. So I understand it.
I cuddle up with my doggies and I sleep with them. I mean, they are family. They're family. Have we missed anything? I think we've covered Stardust, we've covered heat and hydration, and we've even covered Carnival.
Yeah, I would just like to say, don't take your pet's symptoms for granted. Definitely give us a call. Definitely reach out to your vet. We are your allies. We are here to help. Anything that's abnormal, you want us to be working together to find a solution for your pet. So if you want any more tips, any more ideas, any solutions, we're happy to help.
Wonderful. Well, Dr. Sami, thank you very much once more for joining us on the program, and for making the time to share this advice. And I'd like to just add to what you're saying. You're saying don't take your pet's symptoms for granted. Generally, don't take their well-being or their health for granted at all.
Correct.
So, well, thank you so much for your time this morning on the program. Always a pleasure.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it from Dr. Sherelle Sammy sharing some advice with how you can look after your pet during the SR and surgeries, proactive measures, and of course, when the desk gets here, measures that you can implement as well. Even with the carnival weekend ahead of us, well, this is really the carnival week into carnival weekend. There are certain measures you can do as well to help your pets. But that's it for AM Prime. We're ending just a little bit earlier than normal this morning because Dr. Sammy has her furry friends to go visit. But I'm Keaton Shaw, and this has been AM Prime on WESN Content Capital. I wish you a good day ahead, a safe day ahead, a productive one. I'll see you again tomorrow morning. I'm going to join Dr. Sammy and I'm going to visit some of those furry friends. Well, take care, keep well. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
WESN.
Boss lady, it's 2024 and you're still accepting drinks from random strangers? Nah! We're drinking smart to avoid any chance of date rape, so drink smart to be safe. This carnival, we love to drink, 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 and party till the morning come. Whoa, but do it smart. We're drinking smart. But oh!
Drink, 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 and party till the morning come. Yeah, what's wrong with us?
The newest book is here, Closer to the Church, the debut novel by author and former mayor Louis Lee Singh, available at all the home store branches, Barataria, West Mall, Shogunas and C3 San Fernando, paper-based bookshop 10 Nook Avenue St. Anne's, WESN 30A Gattaca Street Woodbrook, Metropolitan Bookshop Ariapita Avenue Woodbrook, and all RIK bookstores nationwide. Available online as paperback on Amazon.com and Kindle for e-readers. For more info, call 628-5835 or 389-6504. Also available from author Louis Lee Singh, I Used to Live in Heaven, Letters to My Granddaughters, and Local Government in Trinidad, Conspiracy Against the People. FanZone, your reliable, authentic supplier, has just gotten better. You can now visit our website www.fanzonett.com for your authentic wear and collectibles. The only place where you can use both your Visa debit and credit cards. Visit our website fanzonett.com to make your purchase today.
We are WESN, the premier platform for Caribbean content. WESN, covering West, East, South, and North. WESN, we entertainment, sports, and news. WESN, available on Greendot 7, Amplia 118, Airlink 17, Bmobile 107, Digicel 21, ICNTT 105, and Flow 110. Connect with us at WESNCC or stream online at www.wesncc.com. WESN, your premier platform for Caribbean content.
It's probably King Lear, which is such an extraordinary study of power and vanity. That's pretty close to stuff going on today, isn't it? And war and cruelty to each other. But it's also a study of old age and madness.
Michael Mapega, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
It's a pleasure.
To you.
Understand now why you didn't want anyone to find you. You have to stay to protect these guys.
Between 2012 and 2014, the Syrian conflict spilled over into one of the biggest cities in Lebanon, Tripoli. Symbolically divided by Syria Street, the Sunni and Alawite neighborhoods were plunged into a war that was not their own. 10 years later, an uneasy peace has returned, but deep scars remain. Watch Tripoli, Syria Street, revisited on France 24 and France24.com.
I'm Paul Rees, covering stories from Sweden for France 24, live from Stockholm and on France 24 news programmes.
Paul Rees, one of the 200 France 24 correspondents around the world.
Britain's Prime Minister says King Charles's cancer has been caught early. The clarification comes after Buckingham Palace announced the condition without specifying its severity. The US's top diplomat continues his tour of the Middle East. Anthony Blinken in Egypt and later on in Qatar as he drums up support for a truce deal. And tensions remain high in Senegal after Parliament approves delaying elections to December, but opposition lawmakers were barred from the vote. Thank you very much for joining us here on France 24 at this hour. First, Britain's King Charles has been diagnosed with cancer. According to Buckingham Palace, the monarch's diagnosis is not related to his recent treatment for an enlarged prostate. The King is suspending his public engagements and is being treated as an outpatient. Charles III won't be handing over his constitutional role during the course of the treatment.
He's just 18 months into his reign, and now King Charles is halting all public duties after Buckingham Palace announced that he's been diagnosed with cancer.
Just found out, so it's quite devastating actually. Yeah, I didn't know about that. It's sad to hear. Sad to hear. I hope he's
It's not nice to hear anyone's been diagnosed with cancer. I kind of feel bad for him. He waited all these years to be king.
The monarch was diagnosed while receiving treatment for a benign prostate enlargement. He was discharged from hospital just a week ago.
Subsequent diagnostic tests have identified a form of cancer. His Majesty has today commenced a schedule of regular treatments.
Buckingham Palace says the king does not have prostate cancer. Following the announcements, messages wishing Charles a swift recovery began pouring in. The British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak took to X, formerly known as Twitter, to say that he has no doubt that the king will be back to full strength in no time, adding that the whole country will be wishing him well. French President Emmanuel Macron also sent his well wishes on the social media platform, posting that his thoughts are with the British people. US President Joe Biden reacted to the news while speaking to reporters in Las Vegas.
Concerned about him. Just heard his diagnosis, but I'll be talking to him, God willing.
And what's next on the border bill? Sir.
Despite their strained relationship, Prince Harry says he'll be travelling from California to see his father in the coming days.
Now, King Charles isn't the only member of the British royal family with health issues. Princess Kate recently underwent abdominal surgery and won't be returning to royal duties until after Easter, Vedika Behel reports.
The 75-year-old monarch is not the only royal to be suffering with health issues. The King's corrective treatment took place almost simultaneously along the hospitalisation of Catherine, Princess of Wales, for abdominal surgery. After a stay of 2 weeks and advised up to 3 months to recover, she's not expected to return to public duties until after Easter. And her procedure prolonged a recent shortage of working royals, as her husband, Prince William, also stepped away to help with their 3 children, though he's now expected to return this week. Just after the double health announcement, the King's former sister-in-law, Sarah, Duchess of York, revealed she had a form of skin cancer, malignant melanoma. It's her second cancer diagnosis within a year, after being diagnosed with breast cancer last summer that saw her undergo a mastectomy and reconstruction.
Now, the U.S. Secretary of State continues his tour of the Middle East. Anthony Blinken in Egypt and then Qatar this Tuesday after meeting Saudi's Crown Prince in Riyadh yesterday. Now, during his meeting with Mohammed bin Salman, the U.S.'s top diplomat discussed the need to reduce regional tensions. Blinken is in the Middle East to drum up support for a truce deal agreed to in Paris, which is still being evaluated by Hamas.